IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. Today's fun fact of the day has to do with genetics. Did you know that just because you have a gene for Alzheimer's or obesity or diabetes doesn't mean that you will actually get any of those? There's a whole new field of gene research appearing. That talks about something called epigenetics. It is now understood that the genes are simply the programs that the body can run. The body can run the program in different ways and hence get different results. And this is called gene expression. So apart from the genes that have defined your eye color or hair color, most other genes are fairly dynamic. You have full control over the way they will function. The beauty of epigenetics is that these genes are expressed or not expressed in response to the environment. The food we eat, the air we breathe, the toxins we're exposed to, and even the exercise that we get. If you want to sound geeky, these are called phenotype effects. Interestingly, these phenotype effects can last up to 4 generations. So while the DNA itself doesn't change, the way it is expressed in the body changes. And this affects your kids, and their kids, and their kids, and their kids. What is scary is that we are surrounded by foods and chemicals that cause these epigenetic changes in us. And we don't even know it. More on these toxins in future episodes. Nessa Carey describes it beautifully. Think of a life as a very long movie. The cells would be the actors and actresses. DNA is the script, instructions for performing the roles. Epigenetics would be like the director. The script is the same, but the director can tweak certain scenes or dialogues, altering the movie for better or worse. Which means that you are in charge of how your genes are expressed. Think about that for a minute. We've gone through our entire lives thinking that we are doomed to get whatever disease our parents have, doomed to be obese, doomed to get high blood pressure. The problem with saying it's in my genes is that we relegate it to fate. We feel we have no control over the outcome. As a result, we don't even care to prevent it. If your parents are overweight, it doesn't mean that you will be overweight too. If you are in control of the environment, eat correctly and exercise, those genes might not be expressed. But it is so easy for us to say, it's in my genes, and then do nothing about it. As a habit coach, I keep hearing the strangest things being blamed on one's genes. I remember someone saying, yeah, I'm addicted to sugar, but it's in my genes. Both my parents love sweets and they are diabetics. So this excuse gives them a free pass to eat all the sugar they want. Diabetes will happen, so why fight it? No, this is wrong. There is absolutely no truth to this idea. Worse, you're giving away your power. Instead, you should be making a list of all the issues your parents have and finding solutions so that you never get them. Find ways in which you can maintain your blood sugar level. Find ways to prevent cancer. Find ways to prevent weight gain. Today's podcast is all about breaking this myth about genes being fixed and rigid. Understand that you are in control of your body. This genes excuse comes when you talk to people in gyms as well. How many times have I heard someone tell me, see, you have good genes, so you look muscular. You are fit because of your genes. No, I am fit and muscular because I exercise. All the hard work I put in, waking up at 5 a.m. every day to make it to the gym, putting in the sweat and the pain, all wiped out by someone saying, it's in your genes. This used to upset me earlier. But now, what upsets me is that the person believes he can't be fit because of his genes. So he doesn't put in the hard work. Hence, he doesn't see results and the cycle continues. As your habit coach, I want you to live to your fullest. I want you to be disease-free. And the first step in doing this is to take responsibility for whatever is happening to you. Put your hand on your heart and say with me, I will never use genes as an excuse again. The next step is to make a long long list of all the things you've been blaming your genes for, everything your parents or grandparents had, then go through it one by one and start making the changes in your life to address them. Worried about diabetes? There are so many ways to prevent it. Stop eating sweets, try fasting, go for climbing up stairs as an exercise. Worried about high blood pressure? Eat good quality fresh foods. Research about supplements like citrulline malate and isometric training for lowering blood pressure. There are so many non-medical things you can do. Will everything work? Well, it depends, but it's worth a shot. Doing nothing is a guarantee that it will not work. So your simple habit to fighting genetic disease is to never, ever, ever, ever use genes as an excuse. Instead, research and find ways of reducing your chances of getting these diseases or problems. Remember, you have the power to change your gene expression. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram.
Every week comes a show where three people come together to tell you about stuff they like. A movie, a TV show, a book, and other stuff. Tune in every Monday on the IVM Podcast app to IVM Likes. Batman approves this message. Thank you, Batman.
Family businesses get a bad rap. At one time, they were looked down on for getting rich, for being too ambitious. Today, they're still looked down on, but for not being ambitious enough. Not agile enough, not modern enough, too traditional in their mindset. The biggest brands and business houses in the country started out as humble family businesses. It's the way India has done business. Join Sonu Bhasin in conversation with stalwarts of Indian family businesses on the Inheritors podcast series by Bloomberg Quint. Discuss the highs and lows, the needs and pressure points of building a business legacy that spans generations.